Warriors fans, I have a question for you. Do you think this team needs Lauri Markkanen to be successful? Yes or no? I see all the comments, people debating it, and it feels like there's more yeses we need Markkanen than nos. What about Brandon Ingram? Do we need him? Will he make this team better or worse? Do we have to give up Moody, Kuminga, Brandon to make any of that happen? We promised you here on Warriors Digest we would keep you updated as we hear new information. And we don't have anything quite new per se, but we're getting more insight into the front offices. So I have an update on Lauri Markkanen and Brandon Ingram. It's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks since we provided any. So I want to make sure we keep you up to date on what we're hearing here. Randy Silver, Warriors Digest. Before we dive into it, if you're not part of the 14% subscribed, getting multiple videos a day around everything in Warriors land, you get to subscribe. Don't miss it. Like these people right here. Wilt, or Will Tony, thanks for your updates. Thanks and love, excuse me, let me say that again. Love your updates. Thanks from the Philippines. Appreciate you joining us. Global fan base here for Warriors Digest and Warriors fans, of course. And then Isaac, thanks much for your content. Keep it up, and may the Lord bless you. I'm sending you all the love and blessings back your way, Isaac. To all the Warriors Digest fans, let's get into today's video. So Mark Stein, NBA Insider, major news breaker. Utah Jazz want Brandon Pajemski from the Warriors in a Lauri Markkanen trade. We told you guys that a couple weeks ago. However, what he's sharing, which is new now, the Warriors are more willing to trade Jonathan Kuminga. Now, it may not be because of the talent. He's going to break down, and I can understand where he's coming from. It's the financial side of it. So we're going to share everything with that right now. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. So his quote, "There is also growing belief league-wide that the Warriors would be more willing to move Jonathan Kuminga in a Markkanen trade or any big swing deal rather than Pajemski. To this point, however, it must be noted that Golden State's offers for Markkanen have centered around a package featuring Moses Moody and draft compensation, without including Pajemski or Kuminga." So again, we know this. They don't want to give up Kuminga or Brandon, Moody plus draft picks. Nothing crazy new. I understand that. No clickbait here. To set the boundaries again, Markkanen becomes eligible for an extension on August 6th. He's on an expiring $18 million contract and due for a large-term raise. Right now, he holds the cards. There's no reason for the Jazz to really trade him until then, and he's under team control for multiple years. Then it becomes worth it. Last season, Brandon stats: 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Kuminga, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Personally, I think Brandon averages around 12 to 15 a game this season. I think he gets 6 to 8 rebounds and probably 4 to 5 assists. Kuminga, I think he'll be around 20 to 24 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So I see Kuminga making a massive jump, Brandon making a jump, but he already really performed well. I think his jump comes when he becomes the official point guard, when Steph retires and he controls the ball significantly more. Or if he starts at the 2 and plays a lot with the second team, he'll get a lot more assists coming from that as well. So now let's dive into contract. So this is where Mark Stein dives more into the numbers side of it. Beyond how highly Golden State rates the 21-year-old in his all-around game, Pajemski also has 3 seasons left on his rookie contract worth nearly $13 million as the number 19 overall pick in June 2023. Kuminga is immediately eligible for a lucrative contract extension between now and October 21st, as the number 7 overall pick from the 2021 draft class has already seen Pistons' Cade Cunningham, Cleveland's Evan Mobley, Raptors' Scotty Barnes, and Magic's Franz Wagner land extensions that exceed $200 million. Warriors also feel like Pajemski's impact is more efficient and better in this offense, especially playing around centerpiece Steph Curry. They're obviously our number 1 player, go-to guy. His rookie contract also concurrently runs with hefty contracts of Draymond and Wiggins, giving the Warriors a true difference maker and an incredible bargain. Something that's become more valuable than ever given the NBA's new luxury tax penalties in the new CBA. Podziemski has proven to be a high-level complement next to Steph Curry, potential face of the franchise moving forward. And he doesn't get a raise until Draymond and Andrew expire. This is a key consideration. So a lot of words there. You may be saying, Randy, what does this mean? Let me break this down for you in a picture. This will be very easy to see. The new players isn't added yet. Will be added shortly. But look, so we're saying Brandon's contract runs to 2027. You can see that right here. Let me blow it up for you. Middle of your screen, Brandon Podziemski runs to 2027. Draymond, 2027. Wiggins, 2027. Top of your screen. Curry, the very top player, I think he will get one more year on this deal. That will be his final year, retirement run. Last year playing 26, 27 is my assumption. He's eligible for extension this summer. If he doesn't get this summer, the next summer he's eligible, of course, as well. Now, again, if we look at Kuminga, he's in between Looney and Moody. Kuminga's got 1 year left on this deal. So the question is, what happens to Kuminga? If they don't extend him this summer, he becomes a restricted free agent next summer, and he could be a lot of money. Maybe he plays poor, hopefully not, and he doesn't get a big deal or the biggest deal, and you get him for a bargain. Or he plays out of his mind, like I think he will, and he becomes too expensive to potentially re-sign, or you have to pay up. So it could be efficient to pay him this summer. Same with Moody. That's a different conversation. We're holding off. But this is what they're going into planning. Right now, if no other players came back, we have $121 million in salary cap committed. That doesn't include Anderson, include Hield, who both have contracts for 3 years. So call it closer to 140. If you sign Kuminga, say it's a 4-year, what everyone else is getting, 4 or 5 years, 200 million plus. So it's 40, 50 million a year. You're going to be extremely close to the salary cap of $180 million next year, 185, that first, second apron. The new media deal kicks in starting, I think, 2 years from now. Everything will go up at that point. So the question is, if you can get Markkanen on an extension for 4 or 5 years, or you get Kuminga on an extension for 4 to 5 years, who do you expect to be better in the short term and potentially long term? And that's why they're saying the Warriors may value Brandon over Kuminga in a trade. Because if you don't think Kuminga is the guy or someone who is your cornerstone franchise player, then you go out and get somebody else, a trade or a free agency. If you have Brandon, look at his contract, $3 million, $3 million, $5 million. This gives you the financial flexibility to be able to go get more players. If you sign Kuminga to an extension, you're basically saying Steph and Kuminga are your big two in terms of the contracts. Because Wiggins is getting $30 million, Draymond's $25 million. Do you get this? In this new second apron stuff, again, do I have it? We look right here, let me blow it up. When you look at this stuff again, y'all, on the right side, the luxury tax you have to pay on the first apron, the second apron, is massive when you're a repeat offender. We've been a repeat offender for quite a while. This is the first year we're getting below it, which is great. But if you're not winning and you're paying massive taxes, it's not worth it. It's not worth it with how much these governors are paying. So it comes down to, do the Warriors rate Kuminga as someone they want to move forward with? If the answer is yes, then you extend him. You don't trade for Markkanen. And those are your big two, call big four in contracts with Dre and Wiggins. If he's not, then you trade Kuminga, you get Markkanen back, plus draft picks, of course, and you have Brandon until 2027, and then you can extend him if he's earned it, continues to earn it at that point, and you assume Wiggins, Green, and Curry are all leaving after that season, and you have a whole new look Warriors. So that is what Mark Stein's basically saying in this report. Now, when it comes to Brandon Ingram, this is coming from Locked On Pelicans. Hey, they think that the Warriors would be a good trade partner. One, we know that Pelicans have retooled a bit. They traded 2 first-round picks to bring DeJounte Murray from the Hawks. So they have a new big team of Ingram, Murray, Zion, and McCollum. But Brandon wants a $200 million extension. He's going to his final year. If he's not the guy, then you trade him this offseason so you get the best value back. Now, again, the same thing. If Markkanen is not the person you want, maybe the asking price is too much. Do you think Ingram, who's still in his mid to upper 20s, is that guy instead? Then you give up Kuminga, and in the same scenario, Brandon's still cheap, and you're going to pay Ingram $200 million plus. I don't think the Warriors do that. I think they'd rather have their young core and players they have than get Ingram. We saw Ingram in Steve Kerr's offense with Team USA last year. Bit different, but fair enough. Sample size did not work out the way that they hoped. He ended up getting benched. So I don't think they're going to make a move for Ingram in this case. Locked On Pelicans, we're trying to make the case here, and I just don't think it's a good case. They said that the Warriors are a bit desperate. We ain't desperate, I promise you, not at all. So it really comes down to what is going to happen with Ingram and Markkanen. And it's because of what Mark Stein is saying, the money side. Brandon is cheaper, so you keep him, works better in this offense, and then you would trade Kuminga. So that way, if you're not going to extend Kuminga and think he's worth that money, you're doing that to someone else who you want to give it to. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? And so again, it's not a crazy new update, but it's more instead of saying, hey, what are we trading and who are the players based off of their attributes and skill set? We're looking at it from a money side and what the financial implications are of that trade. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Of course, if you want your Warriors news broken down daily, subscribe to Warriors Digest, and we give it to you right here all day, every day. Out.